Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to Action Theater Presents To Live and Die in LA. It's one of my favorite, really, action films that maybe very few of you know little or nothing of this film. Uh, this film is the first film that introduced me to William Dafoe and William Peterson, who went on to do some great stuff with CSI, the original CSI Vegas. What are your thoughts, Sarah? Deleted scenes on To Live and Die in LA?
Yes, good evening. Afternoon, about to be evening for my time zone. I am Deleted Scenes. I am the co-host of the show along with Bill. And I first saw To Live and Die in LA back in the day when it first came on to cable. I believe, because if I saw this in theaters, very likely it was without my parents' permission because it was R and I was quite young. But anywho, I saw this at probably a very kind of too young age to be watching this movie. And a very good movie. Kind of a cult favorite. It was it was a movie that kind of was known more for its soundtrack than the actual film itself, which was kind of a mainstay of the 80s, which were, the soundtracks becoming the star of the movie in some cases. And that happened here. You have a group of actors led by William Peterson and Willem Dafoe, as Bill mentioned. There's some other familiar faces in the movie that we'll be pointing out as we go on. So we were seeing a lot of actors who were either not as well known at that particular point in time in their careers. Some actors who were kind of on the comeback trail. Because of this film. So we'll be pointing those actors out as we move along, I'm sure. I will be telling you later on about some of the actors who were originally cast to be in the film, because there were a couple of changes right before filming. So
Hello. DJ Play Nice.
Hello.
Good to see
DJ
you.
Play Nice. Good to see you, sir.
Rusty. Snorter Poopus Cuber. Good to see you, my friend.
Rusty, one thing you can do is you can follow along with us live on Cosme. If you or anyone out there has your own personal physical copy, you can also use that. So yes, unfortunately, as much as we would like to show this movie to you live, unfortunately, due to YouTube's copyright guidelines, we are not going to be able to do that. So because we don't want Richard Chance or Rick Masters to come after us because there are a couple of mean motor scooters. But unfortunately, this film is not yet public domain. So we will have to wait. You can, like I said, follow along with this on Cosme. The link should be at the top of both chats at this time. We are simulcasting this broadcast both on the flagship channel, which of course is Bill's channel, and also simulcasting live on mine as well. So if you're depending on whichever channel you are following. And I do see Space Fraggle has joined us. Yes.
Welcome.
Can't go to Cosmeet working, but are you putting it a DVD? Because I once tried to find it all on major streaming platforms and no dice. You can't, if you do have a DVD copy and you have to wait, yeah, then you can follow us that way as well. I'm pretty sure I have my own DVD copy around here somewhere, but I have to find it.
Yeah, this is one of those rare. It's very rare to find on DVD.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of didn't make a
Yeah.
whole lot of them.
There was, as of this year, a 4K edition. Unfortunately, I do not have that at this point either. So I've got to stick to. I'm pretty sure I have the DVD, but yeah, there is a 4K that is available. That's I think right before William Friedkin passed. I believe that was when that was released. So.
All right,
But
so
yeah, can
do we want to go over the synopsis before we start hit play on this thing?
yes. This film was written for the screen and directed by William Friedkin, based on the novel by Gerald Petrovich. And it is about a Secret Service agent who works for the Treasury Department, who becomes obsessed with capturing the counterfeiter responsible for his partner's death. And along the way, there are some twists and turns. You don't quite know who can be trusted. So that's basically the story. Is these two men on a collision course to wackiness, as we say.
All right, follow us over to the screening room, and I will get the film underway.
I'm not seeing anything on my end, Bill. Am I going to have to?
I haven't.
Or...
I'm looking for.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
looking for the file here.
All right.
I have. Once I find the file.
Okay. It was a few moments, folks.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go a little bit into the cast while Bill is prepping. Like we said, this was an early film in the careers of both William Peterson and Willem Dafoe. We also have Dean Stockwell in this film as well. John Turturro.
We started with the MGM logo.
MGM logo. The Wang Chung title song. December 20th, 1410 hours.
This part of this movie is taking place at the Bonaventure Hotel in LA. I had at the time I had my grandfather worked as a waiter at the Bonaventure Hotel.
Yes. Of course, this is the presidential motorcade.
Yeah.
Here's the man.
I can neither confirm or deny that claim, Rusty. But yes, it is on a hard. It is on a hard drive.
So we have President Reagan ADR'd in the background here.
You're welcome, man. I did say it was hard to find on DVD. But I will eventually have it on media. It's a physical media, yep.
Officer down.
When I first saw this scene, it shocked the hell out of me. It was like, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, there's going to be a few scenes like that before we.
It was a jaw dropper, to say the least. Yeah. No, oops. He was his mission was complete. He just
not the way he planned.
Yeah, it was just kind of foiled the way.
Not entirely the way he planned. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, at least he did there what he came to do, right?
And of course, here's our opening credit sequence.
I love this color scheme, red and green. William L. Peterson. William Defoe. It's a classic 80s film. I think this movie came out right after there was an actual thing where they were passed. A lot of fake 20s being passed around
Mhm.
in the 80s. I remember it being news, but
And we have our introduction to Willem Dafoe as Rick Masters, who is a kind of high-end counterfeiter who, in his spare time, paints and then proceeds to burn the paintings when he's done. It's kind of this weird thing.
I always thought this was a bungee cord, and then I was like, that wasn't a bungee cord, it's just a rope.
Yeah.
This is before bungee cord.
This is kind of the first inkling that Chance is he's a daredevil. He's an adrenaline junkie, and he's a guy who gets off on danger.
We're exactly 10 minutes, 29 seconds into the film.
Now they actually got in some trouble with this film back in the day because federal government thought this was giving people too many ideas. Not exactly how to go
Well, it's
about
kind of
doing this.
yeah, but it's kind of silly to think that people would be intuitive enough to actually do something this way, that well,
Of course, yeah,
or
and you would
even
still
attempt to try.
need to steal the plates first, also, which would be very hard to come by as well.
Kind of wonder what this whole printing press used to be used for before he used it for counterfeiting
Hmm.
magazine or newspaper. Probably some old magazine printing press.
It is now laundered. Sorry, I had to make that joke.
It's had a great score and
Yeah.
great musical presence.
December 22nd, 08, 13 hours. You see that Hart has scoped out Master's headquarters here.
That's a pretty tall guy. He's got to be like 6'4" or something.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
Masters gets to drop on him.
Talk about overkill. I mean,
Yeah.
come on. He was gone with the headshot there. And you really need to shoot him 2 more times? A little bit overkill there. That's what makes Rick Masters a great protagonist villain in this film.
Mhm. Now it's Christmas. It's 2 days, Christmas Eve, actually. It's 2 days after Jimmy went up there. So these guys are very late indeed. And as you see, Masters is cleared out.
Hello, Connie. Welcome.
And, hi, Connie.
We're 21 minutes and 21 seconds into the film.
And you can guess that that wasn't pretty. No, no, actually, you don't. And hello to FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim.
Hello, Tim.
And here's the character of Cody, played by John Turturro in an early role. The aforementioned mule. Start running, shroom.
He's some kind of freak.
Everybody's got the same line.
They don't even have a badge. They have laminate.
This guy's like, I'll just go pee in the street. Y'all handle this.
Like, you would think the Secret Service would have an actual badge, not just a laminate.
Hmm. This Miller's Crossing prequel is weird.
Thank you, Tim, for posting the Secret
Yeah.
Service badge.
Well, the thing to remember as well is these guys are also undercover agents as well. So I wouldn't think they would necessarily always have flashy badges, you know?
Yeah.
Bet you that doesn't come up until a little later on. Of course, there's Dean Stockwell. Post Dune, pre Quantum Leap. There's Darlene Flugel. This is the first movie I ever remember seeing her in, and I had like the biggest crush on her back then.
Hello, Alice. Crazy.
Now, when I saw this the first time, I was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah,
Because you think it's a dude,
yeah. I
but
thought
it's
it was
not.
a man kissing a man, and that freaked me the
Yeah.
frick out. I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" And then it's like, "Oh, that's a
Didn't-
woman."
yeah, it's and she just has her hair up, and it's yeah.
I thought the same thing too.
Mhm. All right. Now, the fella playing the crooked lawyer here, Waxman, is a fella named Christopher Allport. He's a character actor. He used to do a lot of TV as well. And I first saw him in 1983 in a movie called Special Bulletin, which is very memorable because, well, my hometown gets nuked at the end of it. You know? It's kind of a film done as a news report. It was about this TV news crew that gets taken hostage by terrorists, and they're held on a tugboat, and the terrorists have a nuke, and it goes less than well.
You heard about it, hey, Tim?
Yeah, he did pass a few years ago, Tim. Yeah.
Oh, there was a there was a big epidemic that killed a lot of people in the 80s.
Now you are extremely blurry. No! Oh,
Oh,
damn, that hurt, doesn't it?
uh, he'll never have children. Ah, nothing like fertility statue to murder somebody with. Oh, that's right. He uses the gun.
Goes the fake out, yeah.
Try refreshing economy. That
Yeah.
sometimes fixes it.
Speaking of which,
Our current timestamp is 42:43.
Mhm.
And
I do want to remind everyone you can follow along with us live on Cosme or with your own physical copy. As much as we would love to show the film live, YouTube will not allow it because, guys with guns, um, probably bats. Hey, guidelines,
yeah,
So,
yes, we are restricted by the bylaws and copyright.
and even then, we would probably get hit for the music alone. So there's that too. Okay. Cool. Tim's back. Okay. Welcome back.
Did that clear it up for you there, Tim?
Oh, non-sweeteners. So he's having an affair with the CI, which is a big no-no. This is a business lady, and I Susie Homemaker. Okay. Running. Where do they always run? Yeah, see? Now, if the fella who Chance is chasing here looks familiar to you, it's Gary Cole in his first movie, and he's not credited in the end credits though. Invited Dr. Lovelace. And hello to JPRPH1.
Hey, JPR PH1. I've seen that symbol before.
Mm-hmm.
Vaguely familiar.
Of course, here's Steve James. You might remember him from Delta Force, the American Ninja films. I'm going to get you, sucker. Here to Terror, among many others. Take me out to the ball game. No, wait. Okay. It's
This is a prison in LA, California. Is it
Yeah.
Folsom Prison?
Mhm.
Uh,
No, it's San Luis Obispo Penitentiary. And from what I understand, the guys playing the inmates here were the real deal. So
he might have got stabbed a few times. We're at 54-31.
Mhm.
I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. I'm enjoying the presentation. Here we find out he double crossed Rick, and Rick's come to say, "I don't like that."
January 19th,
January
19
19th.
hours.
They're giving the time in like military hours.
Yeah.
No, he just wants to escape. So, oh, I thought they wanted 50,000. All right, are you there, dear leading?
Sorry, I was away from the monitor for a second. What happened? I had a little spill here. What I miss?
They were trying to do the buy with the masters, and they
Mhm.
need 30. I thought they needed 50,000 for the buy for front money or something. Maybe it is 50,000, but they wanted Rick Masters wants 30,000 to even do the deal.
Hmm.
You know, notice seeing this. They really show the really odd industrial parts of LA, and
Mhm.
not like doesn't even look like LA. It's just like
It's the part of LA we don't normally see in these kind of movies.
the perfect time for a Secret Service agent. Miller High Life and Jack Daniels.
Mhm. Dance hall days. Why? Because we are the United States fucking. Well, yeah. January 24th, 1605 hours. Excuse me. Mm. All right. Buckle up, kids. This next 15 minutes or so is going to get pretty crazy.
This leads up to one of the best chases ever. Pretty good chase coming up.
Mhm.
Hello, Joe's atmosphere. That's
It is a
right.
badass movie, indeed. Yes, and we're getting up to the best part.
It's one of my favorites. This
And hello to Curtis Selby, tired midnight blogger.
British. A briefcase. Just a briefcase. The phone book was in decoy. In the background there, you can see the L.A. Precinct, the building headquarters.
Hmm.
of the
Says drive by
best
light.
movies.
Just got back in the south from the great state of Maine. Doing the Grand Lake from Dallas to Louisiana. Keep on keeping on, folks. Gabe. Safe travels there, Joe. And of course, here we go. Look out.
Here we have the LA riverbed. Well, don't get too cocky.
My avatar.
I get it now, Steve.
Yeah.
There's your avatar.
Hey, watch it.
Never shooting them is very well organized. I'll say that. And they got a lot of power.
as you see, is Vukovic is like near catatonic. Chance is just like, you know, he's just, yeah, he's a little crazy.
This is the craziest thing I've ever seen done in a film. I'm going this way. You got a death wish? Don't try that at home, boys and girls.
To the left, to the left, dickweed. To there you see. No problem. I think that went well, don't you?
They barely got out alive.
Yeah. Anybody want a car?
Bogovich is about like
Yeah.
he's still in shock. They borrowed car from the motor pool.
whoops. Wait, what? Oh. You know, this Frasier prequel is not what I was expecting.
Probably the early years, yeah. Current time is 1:36:33.
Hi, Claudia. Surprise! Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Niles is going to be very disappointed. January 30th, 5:15 a.m.
Well,
Yeah.
shit just went sideways really fast.
And not only that, they just killed the lead character, and there's like 15 minutes of freaking movie left. Which was another
I know. I was so surprised. I'm like,
surprise.
what?
Yeah.
Did they just killed the star of the movie off? It was like, it's been carrying this whole movie the whole time. And then they killed him off. It's like, whoa, you never see that. It's like,
Of course. Welcome to hell. Burn it all.
dirty lawyer. Now's not a time to reflect.
Yeah. Still can't pull the trigger. Oh, Cousin Ira finds his balls. We now return to Mick Jagger and performance already in progress. Hmm. Which is probably why he's alive, because he frickin' remembered that. Oh, fancy meeting you here. It's just in the neighborhood. One more card to play. Looking for me now. Whoopsie!
It was at that moment when she knows she done fucked up. And that is To Live and Die in LA.
All right. Shall I consult the scrolls?
I think you should consult the scrolls.
All right. To Live and Die in LA was released in theaters November 1st, 1985. An estimated budget of $8 million, going on to gross $17 million worldwide. In 1986, was nominated for 2 Stuntman Awards and was nominated for the Audience Award at the Cognac Festival du Film Policier. And just this year was nominated for a Saturn Award for Best 4K Home Media Release. There were 44 filming locations, all in and around Los Angeles. Moving on to the trivia. During the opening, when Masters is printing money, the film crew was actually creating counterfeit bills. A convicted counterfeiter was on set showing them how it's done. They were filming out in the desert, and Willem Dafoe said that every time a helicopter flew over the building, they were sure it was the police coming to arrest them all. A year after the film came out, John Pankow played Vukovich, met an undercover NYPD cop in a coffee shop who told him that panicking during the highway chase scene was a completely accurate, realistic response to such a situation. Like Dennis Hopper's Colors, the film was shot in gang territory. Temple Street and 18th Street, the Nickerson Gardens Project in Watts, MacArthur Park, where, of course, the cake was left out in the rain. Very sad. Slauson Avenue in South Central, and the Ball Heights section of East Los Angeles. The prison scenes were shot in the San Luis Obispo Penitentiary, and real prison inmates were used as extras. Legendary cinematographer Robbie Mueller declined to shoot the car chase because he didn't know how to set up such a scene. He was replaced by second unit cameraman Robert D. Yeoman. William Friedkin filmed but did not include a scene in which Vukovich, nearing the breaking point prior to the final showdown with Masters, desperately tries to reconcile with his ex-wife. This deleted scene is found on the special edition DVD, along with an interview with Friedkin, who says he doesn't remember why he cut it, but now regrets doing so. 1980s band Wang Chung provided much of the soundtrack for this movie. When Chance enters the Topless Bar for the first time, Wang Chung's first hit, Dance Hall Days, playing in the background. The car chase sequence took 6 weeks to shoot. It was the last thing shot, apparently so that if anything happened to the principal actors, the filmmakers would at least have the bulk of their movie completed without having to replace anybody. Chance's car in the chase is a 1985 Chevy Impala F41. It was rented from the LAPD. In addition, several other cars in the film were rented from neighboring California law enforcement agencies, such as the Orange County Sheriff's Office and the California Highway Patrol, while some were ex-police cruisers. William Friedkin specifically asked Wang Chung not to do a song titled To Live and Die in LA because he thought it would be too cheesy. Wang Chung did it anyway and played it for Friedkin, who loved it so much that he wrote a pre-title sequence showing Chance's work as a Secret Service agent so he could use the song to open the film. Gary Sinise had originally auditioned for the part of Chance. When he was denied the role, he recommended William Peterson to William Friedkin. Sinise and Peterson would later become part of the CSI franchise. William Friedkin insisted that every activity depicted in the movie should be portrayed with extreme accuracy. 2 ex-cons convicted for money counterfeiting were hired as technical consultants for the money printing scenes. For the police procedure scenes, Friedkin hired real Treasury agents Gerald Petrovich, the author of the book the film's based on. Rick Petrovich is his brother, and LAPD living legend Jack Orr. William Friedkin kept only 20% of the elements from the original book for the screenplay adaptation, aka they're 2 totally different animals. One Hollywood legend holds that Michael Mann sued William Friedkin for plagiarism over this film. He accused Friedkin of stealing the entire concept of Miami Vice and lost a lawsuit. However, Friedkin himself has said, Michael Mann and I have been good friends for 30 years, and nothing like this ever happened. Despite the crew's best efforts, some of the counterfeit bills made for the film got into circulation. The bill's quality was very, very good, but the Treasury seal on the counterfeits used the letter X, which is not a valid Federal Reserve Bank letter. The Secret Service picked up X bills for quite a while after filming Wrapped. Uncredited theatrical movie debut of Gary Cole as the man being chased on the bridge by Chance. Because of the project's relatively low budget, $6 million, William Friedkin decided not to bother trying to cast established film stars. Friedkin began his career in Chicago and was familiar with fellow Chicagoan William Peterson's work. He called Peterson in for a script reading with him in mind for Chance, and immediately offered Peterson the part. Peterson and John Pankow were longtime friends and had acted in many Chicago area projects. Peterson told Friedkin he thought Pankow would be perfect for the role of Vukovich. The director ran a scene with Pankow and cast him on the spot. Since the element of fire plays an important role in the film, it's funny to note that Deborah Feuer's last name is the German expression for fire. William Friedkin, in his memoir, The Friedkin Connection, says that the fake money they made was so good that after some of it left the set, he eventually heard from the Secret Service and the U.S. attorney. After he avoided a confrontation with them, Friedkin states, when the film came out, there were news stories about people trying to make counterfeit money after seeing the step-by-step process in our film. I took some of the 20s, those printed on both sides, of course, put them in my wallet and spent them in restaurants, shoeshine parlors, and elsewhere. The money was that good. And hello to Daniel's Hot Topics.
Yeah.
Question, when are we going to watch You Only Live Twice? Eventually, we're going to get around all of the Bonds. It's just going to be a matter of when.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I already have a surprise for next week. I think you'll like it. They're deleted. But when you finish with the scrolls, I'll show you.
Okay. Moving on, William Peterson and John Pankow were involved with some adaptations of, with the same adaptation of Reginald Rose's play, 12 Angry Men. Peterson played juror number 12, while Pankow played juror number 7 in the 2004 Broadway revival. Director William Friedkin directed an adaptation of this play for TV. Christy Swanson, who, as you may remember, was the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer, was cast in a small role in the film, but her scenes got deleted in the final cut. Swanson has said she played a daughter of one of the main characters, most probably Dean Stockwell, and her scene consisted of opening the door of her house to Willem Dafoe and having a short conversation with him. Probably got cut out for time. The real artist who created Master's paintings, Rainer Fenting, a young German modern expressionist, is an artist who sold a lot of paintings in Europe and New York, and who was very evocative of what Rick Masters should be doing. Willem Dafoe spent time watching him paint. The canvas burned at the film's beginning, if it had not been destroyed, would have sold for a lot of money. When Chance and Vukovich are on surveillance duty at the church watching Waxman's office, Fetting played the priest. At the time, John Pankow was a well-respected Chicago stage actor and was personally recommended for the role of Vukovich by William Peterson. Yeah, we've said that before. Some of these repeat, folks, so I'm trying to miss those. When the agents are back in the bar after Chance makes his jump from the bridge, Richie urges all of the agents to pay up, implying that Chance made the jump on a dare. Richie urges one person, played by Petrovich, to pay up in particular. Yeah, of course, that was the real life Joe Petrovich's little cameo there as the guy in the bar. Miles Davis was approached by producers to compose the score for the film, but due to a busy schedule, he turned down the offer. Though the film isn't, the source of this is the book So What? The Life of Miles Davis. Though the film isn't identified by its title, it certainly matches with the description of being a film directed by William Friedkin that came in 1985. Jeff Bridges, Richard Gere, and Harrison Ford were considered for the role of Chance, but director William Friedkin wanted an unknown actor for the role. For the Castilian Spanish language dubbed version, Willem Dafoe's voice was dubbed by Ernesto Ara. The usual voice of him is, however, Salvador Vidal, who in this film does the voice of William Peterson instead of his regular voice. Well, okay, this is getting really confusing here. Basically, long story short, I'm gonna do the short version of this. Some of these actors have people who dub them in Spanish, but for this movie, everybody decided to pick a different actor. So Defoe's usual guy is doing Peterson's voice. Peterson's usual guy is doing Willem Dafoe's voice, and there's another guy who does Chitoro's voice, who usually does somebody else's. I'm sorry, folks. It is. I don't know who writes some of these sometimes. I just saved you about 10 minutes of word salad. Trust me.
Wow.
Anyway, the black and white cardboard standee in The Office search is John Wintergreen, Robert Blake's character in Electric Glide in Blue. Well, I didn't notice that. There is an edited and significantly shortened version with a shrunken screen size and low resolution that was shown on TV. In the credits for that version, William Friedkin's name for director and co-screenplay was changed to Jackson Foray. One might suspect Friedkin's contract allows for or even requires the removal of his name when the film is changed from his original director's cut. Credited, though often misspelled, theatrical movie debut of Jane Lee, Serena. She would later go on to co-star in the series Frasier. Okay, let me see how many more. I'm going to do a few more of these and then we'll move on, because some of these get rather lengthy. All right. The actor who plays Captain Bateman is Robert Downey, the father of Robert Downey Jr. William Friedkin claimed this was the easiest film he ever made. John Pankow and Willem Dafoe appeared together in The Hunger in the telephone booth scene. Steve James, John Pankow, Michael Green, and Robert Downey Sr. were reunited in film editor Bud Smith's directorial debut, Johnny Be Good, which also stars Robert Downey Jr. and Anthony Michael Hall, and was the film debut of Uma Thurman. All right, the bridge that Chance bungee jumps from in the opening act is the Vincent Thomas Bridge. Oh, this gets sticky. I should read these first. This is the same bridge that director Tony Scott self-believed by jumping from in 2012.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, a few of these get a little long. So I'm going to do this last one and kind of leave it at this. According to Hurricane Billy, the stormy life and films of William Friedkin, Friedkin first conceived of a car chase against the flow of traffic while driving home from a wedding in 1963. As he tells it, Friedkin fell asleep at the wheel and woke up in the wrong lane, headed straight into oncoming traffic. He swerved back to his side of the road and spent the next 2 decades wondering how he could use the experience in a movie. Working with a stripped-down crew and Buddy Joe Hooker's diagrams, the 8-minute chase took 6 weeks to film and was the last sequence shot. In the making of documentary Counterfeit World, that actually would have been a cool title for the film, John Pankow jokes that by shooting the chase at the end of production, if anything were to happen to the lead actors in the film would more or less be in the can. It was all right. It was 40 stunt guys, Friedkin and Pankow and me, remembers Peterson. We were going all over LA, blocking off streets and just spinning out. The film's director of photography and noted Friedkin enabler Robbie Mueller declined to shoot the chase over safety concerns. So second unit cameraman Robert D. Yeoman came on instead. Fun fact, Yeoman went on to become Wes Anderson's DP of choice. So keep this man's enormous balls in mind the next time you scoff at a Twee center frame. Their words, not mine, but that's funny. Peterson himself did most of the chase leading up to the freeway stunt. As he says, I was able to do a lot of the driving stuff, and I wanted to do all of it, remembers the actor. It got to the point where it was much more fun to be doing the stunts than it was to be doing any of the acting stuff. To quote Pankow, I didn't really have to act. I was terrified a lot of the time. Inserts and close-ups of Peterson behind the wheel of the Impala were accomplished with a specially designed hydraulic swivel car that was pulled behind the camera truck. In other shots where we see Chance driving the camera car, the vehicles in the opposing lanes were stationary. This was apparently Friedkin's idea, and according to Hooker, it created a strobe effect. You couldn't tell if the cars were moving or not. As Peterson describes in a behind-the-scenes featurette, the film rented a portion of a freeway for the weekend and sourced 900 cars to give the impression of rush hour. In the narrative of the film, Chance and Vukovich are driving against traffic, but in reality, the opposite was true. Peterson and Pankow drove in the correct direction. Meanwhile, traffic, quote unquote, actually flowed backward on the wrong side of the road. This is possible to spot in several brief cuts. According to an interview with Buddy Joe Hooker on Shout Factory's Blu-ray release, one of the reasons William Friedkin wanted Peterson and Pankow to drive in that particular direction was, to quote, because there were these beautiful oil refineries with all the lights, and it was a dusk shot. Friedkin wanted to see that in the background with the cars going, and the only way he could do that was to reverse the flow of traffic. There's a moment near the end of the chase where the 18-wheeler jackknifes and squashes the cars in its path. This was Hooker's idea. Like all good ideas, he suggested it before he knew how to pull it off. To achieve the effect, the stunt team attached the back attached the back of the semi to a 4-wheel drive truck. When the tractor, trailer brakes locked up, the truck swung the back of the semi around with a cable. Okay. And that is it for IMDb Pro. If, like I said, there's a few more, but they're pretty lengthy. And we probably be here for another hour and a half or so reading. So if you want to see the rest, check out IMDb Pro. The scrolls are closed.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Deleted.
Yeah.
So, next, that brings up the question, what shall we play for next week? Well, you've been asking for it. We've talked about it. And we're going to do By Dawn's Early Light, an HBO film.
Oh, yes,
starring
nice.
The great, late James Earl Jones, Powers Booth, Martin Landau, Rebecca De Mornay. We're going to do that one next week.
Right on. Good to hear. Good to hear. been looking to. I had suggested that as being a possible film in the future. It was an HBO film originally, 1990, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Interesting film. It's kind of like Fail Safe on crack.
Yeah.
And we'll go a little bit more into it when we get to the show. But it's a very good one, and I hope that everybody returns next week and joins us for By Dawn's Early Light.
No problem, Curtis.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say my parting words. Always be excellent to each other and party on.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be doing this Thursday night football right after this, so I'll still be on the airways. Over to you, Julian.
Right on. Well, I would like to once again thank everybody who joined us here in the chat, including Curtis, Tim, Daniel's Hot Topics. Let's see, Joe's Atmosphere, JPRPH1, Alistair's Queen Emma, Snortopoopas Q Burr, Rusty, Space Fraggle, DJ Plain Ice, and of course, Connie Cleary. Thank you all once again for joining us in the chat. I'd like to thank everybody who was lurking in the background. I know that there were some. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Hit the like, share out the stream. And from HQ. And all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong, because this is how we win.
See you later, folks.